Microsoft is going through sort of a weird transition right now. They're trying their best to, I guess, run out the clock would be the best way to kind of describe what they're doing with the Xbox Series X and S. And they're trying to, transition people over, getting used to the idea of gaming on a PC. And so that's where their future is. That's where, obviously, we're going to continue to see them support. And in my opinion, it's one of the main reasons why we see Microsoft do things like Play Anywhere. And that's just my personal thought on it. If you don't agree with it or think something else, I think that's totally fine. But I'm not going to go by their words. I'm going to go by their actions. And their actions all seem to point towards kind of ditching Xbox altogether in terms of a traditional console, and even they've kind of admitted that outright. So I don't know why anybody would argue with me on that bit of information. But when it comes down to it, there's still some stuff for the next couple of years to be excited about as an Xbox fan. Run out the clock with them, enjoy yourself, have a good time, play the games that everybody's going to want to be talking about and playing. I mean, no doubt Xbox is doing something pretty good right now. They bought $100 million worth of studios, IPs, publishers. So of course they're going to have some major games going on, and that's going to be a big point going forward. So that's going to be super cool to see. Now I want to get into this. Should be really cool. Back in the Xbox One days, even in the dark days of the Xbox One, there wasn't a whole heck of a lot to be excited about. I mean, I liked the Xbox One. There was a point where I got annoyed that Microsoft wasn't doing more to support it with first-party content. I believe they gave up in the middle of that generation. If you look at a certain point, that's when they canceled Scalebound. That's when they canceled Phantom Dust. That's when they canceled Fable. That's when they closed Lionhead Studios. That's when they let go like Twisted Pixel, which has since been closed, and other studios, and canceled a bunch of games. That's when they technically gave up, in my opinion, in that generation. So they've kind of given up in back-to-back generations. But, at the same point, there's things to kind of look forward to now. They have the games coming out. I mean, you have to share them. I think that's something that really sort of takes away from them. Not because, somebody else gets to play my game, but it's like what the broader spectrum of that means, that, it renders the hardware useless, which is kind of what Microsoft wants, at the same point in time. So, we'll see if that's something that changes in the future. I seriously doubt that it does. If anything, I could see them giving up completely on hardware. But right now, as it sits, they've got some great games coming out, and Forza Horizon 6, the Forza Horizon series, for instance, really saved the Xbox One, right? Think about it. Forza Horizon 2, 3, 4, and 5 all launched on the Xbox One, and I think 3 was a real revelation. That's when they started doing the Hot Wheels stuff, and it looks like the release date has leaked, and it's not going to be that long of a wait, which is really, really interesting. There was a pop-up in Forza Horizon 5 that started appearing, so it looks like this is going to be cool. There's an image now that Forza Horizon 5 that gives the release date for the 6th game of the series. According to the image, Forza Horizon 6 will launch on May 15th in early access, with May 19th released for standard edition. So it's worth mentioning that at the time, some people say they can't really duplicate the pop-up or whatever, and other people haven't necessarily seen it, but a few people have seen it. According to this, users who buy the premium upgrade will receive the following: VIP membership, a welcome pack car pass, time attack car pack, Italian Passion car pack, coming post-launch, 2 premium expansions coming post-launch. Additionally, pre-orders will also receive an exclusive tuned Ferrari J50, a real picture of what is going to be that car. I'm going to link this article so you can see it. It could be, we don't even know. It's weird that we don't know the cover car for the game yet, although it's been kind of announced. The game will be shown off at the Developer Direct. We don't really have a lot left to kind of wait for that, but, again, Forza Horizon's always a big deal. I've always said this. If you look at Google, even before the game actually ever got put out on PlayStation, like PlayStation, it was one of the always the kind of the thing that said, when is Forza Horizon coming to PlayStation? And that was the thing. And now that it's on PlayStation, obviously this one won't be on PlayStation day one, but eventually it will be there. And then of course we're gonna see in the future, I'm 100% positive that we'll see, all the games launching day and date on PlayStation. That's just inevitability at this particular point. So, that's something that we kind of have to look at and just say, oh, well, that's happening. Microsoft really doesn't give a crap about, their Xbox consoles or whatever the case may be. And, that's just how it is. They clearly just don't care, and that's a real shame, to say the least. And, for me anyway, I'm kind of looking at these things and I'm going, I really wish Microsoft would have come through and delivered, because it was almost like a super slap in the face if you think about it, right? It was diabolical, you know. They led people along, myself included, and then we're like, hey, we're getting all these games, exclusives matter, blah, blah, blah. And then before they even start coming out, they're like, nope, we're going to put them on, PlayStation and Nintendo platform. So I always feel that that's a bit of a slap in the face, but I still think Forza Horizon is a great series. So those who pre-order will also receive a pre-tuned and exclusive Ferrari J50 and Forza Horizon 6. Again, some people, this is unverified at the time, but it lines up. Take it with a grain of salt overall, but it really does line up. This will be the first Forza Horizon game in the series to launch outside of its usual September to November release window, but nobody is going to launch alongside GTA 6, it seems. So, that would be just crazy to do that. Obviously, we're going to hear more about Forza Horizon 6 and a release date during the Developer Direct, which is on January 22nd. As the showcase will feature news and gameplay on Forza Horizon 6, Fable, and Beast of Reincarnation. Also, a secret game is going to be shown off. So, we'll see if that's something that, we'll be able to be kind of showcased or whatever. I always like it when we see, like, some kind of cool game, like, surprise release or whatever. That's always, like, a cool thing, in my opinion, to see, and the way that they kind of sport that out there. So, I'm excited about that as much, because I love the Forza Horizon series. Listen, the entire reason, even though people made fun of Xbox for these things, the entire reason I would buy an Xbox is for Forza, Fable, Gears, and Halo. Those are the four, baby, and we're getting them this year. It's unfortunate that we're not getting a new Halo, but, at least we're getting some kind of Halo. There's no multiplayer in it or whatever. I wish there was, but it's still cool to kind of end with a bang, like Xbox started with a bang, and it's going to end with a bang. So that's really cool to me. And I know, like, some people think it's hyperbole or whatever. I honestly, like, regardless of what happens, Microsoft doesn't seem like they're going to change their plans. They're going to release basically what's just a PC. And, I have no interest in being a PC gamer, unfortunately. So I'm not interested in that at all. I'm definitely not interested in running something with full board Windows and all the inherent issues and stuff like that. Like, there's enough issues right now. Every day almost, it seems like there's some kind of issue with it or whatever. But there's a lot of people talking about the fact that Forza Horizon's coming. It's going to be awesome to see. Like I said, this is going to be, should be a good year. It's the 25th anniversary of Xbox, so we should be getting some cool stuff. We should be getting some great announcements, man. This is the stuff what makes Xbox, and that's kind of an exciting thing, in my opinion. So I really do feel that this is an awesome kind of thing, and it's really nice to see that we are getting the games that we're getting, because I think that even though Microsoft doesn't necessarily care about Xbox console fans anymore, it's like they deserve something, man. Like, if you're an Xbox console fan, man, I hear you, mad respect, because I've been there since day one. Was playing Halo, was playing, all the great memories, with the original Xbox, ripping my own soundtracks and, doing all that kind of cool stuff. I can remember playing NFL or ESPN NFL 2K5, ripping my own soundtracks and, something like my own personal song. I think I was really heavy into Audio Slave at the time. And, there was some awesome Audio Slave that would come on when I would be playing that game, or, any game. It was really awesome to see. And then, of course, the 360 with, Gears introduction and Halo and Forza Horizon and Call of Duty, Modern Warfare, all that great stuff. Even the Xbox One, Titanfall, Sunset Overdrive, Quantum Break, so many awesome memories and games. Unfortunately, this has been probably one of the more lackluster generations, but a good console, a good piece of hardware. The backwards compatibility stuff is dope, and now it looks like we're getting another Forza Horizon game, which will be the first one that is not on the old hardware. So that's something pretty interesting. We're going into year 6, and it's just now getting the first Forza Horizon that didn't support previous hardware. So that's pretty cool in my book. Anyway, pretty cool stuff. Are you guys excited for the game? Let me know. I'll rack 'em up. Crap Gamer out.